So we're back working on the Mustang. I know I said a while ago, we weren't going to work on the Mustang anymore. And stuff like that. But you got to do what you got to do, right? So, wait, wrong Mustang. The other Mustang's over here. Well, 1 second. All right, so it's the ta-da, right? What we're going to do is we're going to put a Coyote in this, kind of. No, this is what we're going to put in it, and we're going to spin this camera. So this is the motor we're putting in. This is the Tower of Power. This is a 200 inline 6 motor and transmission. It's backed up by a C6. Yeah, Tower of Power. These were about 125 horsepower from the factory, which is still almost as powerful as a Fox body Mustang, right? Those are about 145 in the 80s. That's with that little one lung crap carburetor on there. We're going to do a 2-barrel carburetor conversion to this motor and things like that. We'll show you that later. But we are sticking this leaning tower of power in the Mustang. And this is the factory motor. We did a little refresh on it and things like that, and stuff like that. Yeah, we'll get to put it in. Thank you. All right, so we're back. We got our leaning tower of power here. I know it's not a slant, and I know it's not a slant 6. It's just an inline. Sorry for saying leaning. Couldn't think of anything that went with tower of power. We'll just call it the Tower of Power. Our Tower of Power, right? A lot of people say these motors are indestructible. I kind of almost want to find out. We did a couple of things. We put a blaster 2 coil on it, stuff like that. We are going to do a points elimination kit in the distributor. But we're going to do all that a little bit later and stuff. Overall, everything's in really, really good shape and things like that. It has some of the stuff you would think from an engine from 1960. I think the date put in this is late 65, which makes it about right for a 66. And stuff like that. The head does match the motor, so we ran all the numbers on it. So this is most likely is 100% a numbers matching car. Originally this car was green, not poppy red. It was that gold color, not green. It looks green. I personally like that. No one else in the world does. This was my brother's car. He gave it to us. I wanted to paint it green. Or gold. My wife said, no, do that and I'll divorce you. And I was like, why? And then she pointed out the fact that I painted my 54 green and then I hated it. So there's that, right? What we're going to do is we're just going to simply plunk this thing in and start getting it ready. Not like we're going to run it down the street or something like that. We are just kind of showing how to install a motor, kind of simple. And then we're going to kind of do a walk around on the car and show you what we're working with. It's overall a very, very solid car. We've already done some work to it and things like that. We have kind of started sanding it down and things like that. We started the restoration project on it for my brother, and what always happens is, I can't say always happens, the inevitable thing happens. He had aspirations of making this 1966 Mustang almost a carbon copy of my 1964 Mustang. He wanted a 5-speed, he wanted a better rear end, he wanted disc brakes, he wanted a 302 that was bored out and things like that. He wanted a TMI interior, so a lot of wants go into cars, right? It's always the battle between what you want and what you can have. So he had a direction that he wanted to go in with no mechanical ability. Love you, but you don't. And told me, tear the car apart. We're doing it. We're going all out, all or nothing. And my brother, I love you to death, but you were an all or nothing guy, and I get it. It's got him in trouble more times than once. the inevitable thing, right? When you tear something apart and you have all these dreams, then you realize that your finances don't fit the dream. Everything sits, right? So we started doing body work on the car, stuff like that, and now there's rust everywhere because we stopped in the middle of it. He's like, hey, I don't got money right now. Push it outside. And that's what I did. And that was a year ago. And this is South Florida. And everyone thinks that, oh, you're in the South, so rust isn't an issue. South Florida, rust is an issue. I am, literally, I could, if I had the right base, Nolan Ryan could throw a ball and hit the ocean from where we are. We're like 2 miles from the ocean, so we are in the sun belt of Florida. So rust is an issue here. And it's all surface stuff, so I'm not all that worried about that. But now it's power in the car. That's our brief rundown on it. Now it's to get this thing back in the car and things like that, and start the honest, just to goodness, just pure out restoration. The way that somebody, not my brother, wanted to do the car in the first place, just with a little bit of power added and kind of leave it stock. We're going to do some stuff to make the car safer, and that's the part people should always want to look at the most. We're going to add disc brakes. We're going to add power brakes to it. It's going to be easier than what we did on the '64 Mustang because it's an automatic car. We don't have to deal with the clutch, things like that in the way. And we already have the parts for that, except for the disc brakes. We do have to get those. So it's going to be a disc brake car when we're done. And if anyone doesn't like that, drive a manual drum brake car a lot, and you'll be like, oh, power brakes are awesome. I drove one for like 3 years, and I was like, my God, I can't wait till I can do something different. So what we're going to do is we've already painted the inside of the engine bay. It's an important thing. We cleaned up the rust and stuff like that, and we have a couple little knick-knack things to do, but we can always do that after the motor's in. We're going to put the motor in. We're going to get situated. We're going to start to attack the process of getting the motor down and in. And follow along, and I'm sure we'll swear at something.
So did you forget something?
Yeah. Alejandro forgot to paint it.
I don't think he did that.
Well, didn't get painted, didn't it?
Yeah, but you were painting it. And now, because we didn't paint it, now we gotta wait for it to dry, and then I gotta edit in a SpongeBob 2 hours later kind of deal.
Oh, that would be awesome.
2 hours later.
So now we got the engine sitting in right there. We're just trying to find the cross member for it. We had one with the bolts and nuts all together, but we've unfortunately misplaced it. But we do have this one for a manual that should work. If we can't find it, we'll end up putting it in there. You getting it in there? I don't know if I can get a better view on this. Let me see. smacking the microphone.
All right, so we're back. We're out of time lapse. It was a lot of fun. We lost the original cross member to the car, and by lost, and by we, I mean I didn't do it because I didn't take it off. So we didn't have the right bolts, and we didn't have the right cross member. But luckily, we do have other first-gen Mustang parts because we did a first-gen Mustang. So we were able to use the old cross member out of the car, so we're good to go there. So cross members in, transmissions in, and the tower of power is back together. Doesn't run. Fuel pedal's not hooked up. Fuel lines aren't hooked up. Nothing's tight in it except one motor mount. But yeah,
It's
power.
in, and that's all that matters.
We're going to show you real quick what we did. All right, so the motor's in. We are going to do a two-barrel swap like I was talking about. The one thing that people need to remember about carburetors, now I know carburetors are kind of becoming the lost art, things like that. But there is a way to figure out how many CFMs a carburetor needs to be. It's a simple math trick. Not even so much a simple math trick. All you do is you take your cubic inches, right? You divide cubic inches by 3, 4, 5, 6, 34, 56. Actually, you divide, I'm sorry, that is wrong. Someone's can admonish me. Cubic inches times RPMs divided by 3456. And that'll come up with your CFM rating. How many CFMs your car should use. And I think when we did the math on this, and I have it written down somewhere, I want to say the CFMs, minimum CFM rating is going to be 285 CFMs. This is a 145 CFM carburetor. So it's already choked from the factory. We're probably going to run about a 350 CFM carburetor because it has that log intake. If anybody thinks that's a horrible idea or they've done it and it didn't work, let us know. Because honestly, I don't just like to break stuff, I like to listen too. So let us know what you think as far as that. And remember, it's fast and it's dirty, so make it fast, keep it dirty, but have fun, be safe. Anything else, guys? That's about it. Stay tuned. We're doing more junk to this. We're going to have this car up and running hopefully in the next week or so, and maybe even drive it down the road. That hasn't happened in a long time. Currently, there's one seat in the car. The rest of them are upstairs in our loft. Yeah, it's going to be fun. It's going to be interesting. But stay tuned. Stay with us on it. And like, share, subscribe, all that fun stuff they tell you to do at the end of videos. We're going to be, and I know we're supposed to start on our formula already, but this kind of came up, and this is going to be a quick and easy, quick and dirty project, which is always a nice one. The formula is next. We're actually trying to acquire parts for it and stuff like that. And we really want to make a really, really nice road machine out of that and things. So stay tuned on the formula, and I'm very, very sorry we haven't gotten the videos out on it. Just we're trying to acquire all the parts we need to really kind of start on it and just keep going through where we're not stopping for a month on a car and stuff like that. We are going to kind of plow right through this one. We're going to get it running, driving, things like that, and then get it to the paint shop. It's going to be back to red, which red Mustangs sell, I guess. I don't know. I would do this, the goldish green color that the car was from the factory because I like it better, but it's me. So yeah, like, share, subscribe. Stay tuned. Remember, make it fast, keep it dirty, but be safe. Thank you. Bye.